Hello my crafty friends, this is Mary at Cardz TV. We're going to make a card of encouragement today, and we'll be using two older cartridges. We'll use preserves and doodle charms, and I have two of my Cardz TV stamp sets from Garden Greetings. This is one I've been dying to use, In a Jam, and from More Encouraging Thoughts. There's a couple on here, and I'm trying to decide between You Can Lean on Me, I'm Here If You Need Me, and You Can Do It. And I think we'll use I'm Here If You Need Me. So I'll get all this out of the way, and we'll get started on our card of encouragement. We've got a white card base, and I've cut my cardstock at 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. And that gives us an A2 size card. Now I've cut a piece of red at 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and I'm going to put this on my white card base. Our next mat is this really cute blue and white flowered paper that came from the Echo Park Country Drive 6x6 paper pad. This has some really cute papers in it. And I've cut this at 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. We're not going to put that on the red and white card base yet though, because I cut a little white border using my Fiskars threading water punch. And I also cut a little strip of that red just wide enough to go behind the little holes that the punch punches out. And I ran this little border through my cuttlebug using the Swiss Dots folder. So that gives it some nice dimension on there. And I'm going to add this right down here at the bottom. And I've cut this white border at 3/4 of an inch, but it's longer than what it needs to be because I wanted to make sure that my scallops were even across the bottom. So I'll get this adhered down evenly, and then I'll just trim off the excess. Now we'll just flip this over and trim this off and get this adhered to the front of the card. This paper on the back is cute too, isn't it? With the little flowers. I wanted a little canning jar to go on the front of my card, so I found one in the Doodle Charms cartridge on page 95, and you can see that it's got a little slit right there and one right here. This one shows the bottom of the jar, and this is just supposed to show the shiny part of the jar, and I did not want that. So I got out my gypsy, and I don't know if you can see that or not, but I used it to hide that slit on the side and the one at the bottom. And I cut this out at 3 1/2 inches. And I cut it twice. Once out of this really cute red and white polka dot paper. And this was from the Recollections Valentine Stack with Love. And then I cut it again out of some craft paper and just snipped off the top so that it's got a separate lid. And I've inked around all of this with some Tim Holtz Tea-Dye Distress ink. And I took some crochet thread because I wanted to, because this is supposed to be strawberry jam, I wanted to put a little tag on the side that has that sentiment from the Garden Greetings set, In a Jam. So I took this EK Success label punch. I tried to find one the right size in one of my cartridges, but they were all too long to get the width that I needed. So that little punch worked out great. And I've got this on some crochet thread, and I'm just going to wrap this around the top of the jar and tie this over on the side. And then I'll put this on some foam tape and get this on the front of the jar, or on the front of the card. So we'll go ahead and tie this in a bow. I wouldn't mind having some strawberry jam right about now on a peanut butter sandwich. Yum. I've got my little strawberry jam jar adhered to the front of my card on 2 thicknesses of foam tape, and I've also got some under my little tag. Now, it needs a label, so I went over to the preserves cartridge, and on page 30, I found this little scallop right here, and I cut that at 1.5 inches. This is actually supposed to be for jar lid, but I thought it was really cute. So I cut one out, like I said, at 1.5 inches. I ran this through my cuttlebug with the Swiss dots folder again. We're going to put this right here on the front, and I did ink around this too with the Tim Holtz Tea Dye Distress ink. And I wanted a strawberry for it, so I turned over to page 53. This preserves cartridge has some really yummy looking fruit in it. Okay, I cut this little strawberry right here that's got the flower and the leaves. I cut this at 1 inch. I cut the background out of brown so that I'd have the stem up here at the top, and the strawberry out of red, and then over here on layer, the ivory flower, and then the green leaves in the center of the flower. And I'm going to put this on the front of my little label. I think that's so cute. And you know it needs some buttons, guys. So I'm going to add 3 little black buttons up here before we do the inside. Love the way that looks. That's so cute. So let me get this adhered down, and then we'll do the inside. Here's the front of the card all finished. I love that. Now, I went ahead and did the inside. I kept it pretty simple. I have a red mat, which is 3 3/4 by 4 3/4, and then a white sentiment mat, which is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And right up here I stamped, "I'm here if you need me," from the More Encouraging Thoughts stamp set. And then I went back to the preserves cartridge, and on page 52, I found these 2 strawberries right here, which I thought was appropriate for the inside. And I cut them out at 1.5 inches in all the layers. And I did run these through the Swiss dots folder as well. So it looks like it's got the little seeds from the strawberry. There we go, guys. A quick and simple little card of encouragement. Thanks so much for coming by today. Hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye now.